Hi everyone, we have author Jenesequa here.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. I've been waiting to do this interview with you because, first of all, I love your books. That's a plus.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So, first thing I wanted to ask is, what was it like to write your series and for it to blow up so quickly?
Well, the writing process was like just a normal, everyday writing process which I go through with like all my books and my series. But in terms of it blowing up, I didn't really expect it to do as well as it did because like normally like I'm always hitting top 10 on women's fiction or urban fiction, but for it to get that response, like I was really shocked. I didn't actually think that so many people would really love it and I would gain so many new readers, but it's been really, really great.
That is amazing. So another question I want to ask is, what were you writing on before you got published?
What was I what?
What were you on another platform before you got published?
Oh yeah, I was. So I got published back in 2015, and that same year I was just on Wattpad writing like free novels for like readers, and then I gained like a following, and then once I hit like 40,000 followers on there, I believe Royalty found me, and then they messaged me on Wattpad and told me that they wanted to sign me. And then at first, because I'd already received like a lot of offers from other publishing houses before, I wasn't really too keen on signing with anyone because at the time I was just writing for fun. I didn't really consider the fact that I could actually like make money from it and actually like make a living from it. I didn't really process that. So, but I don't know, it was just something about Royalty that really just intrigued me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what, let me check it out and see how it is, and haven't looked back since.
And you know what, I'm going to say this. I was a fan of yours on Wattpad.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
that's so nice to hear.
Now, when I was on there and, I had first started out and everything, it was kind of rough a little bit. Well, that's how I felt about it. But I was trying to figure out, like, my niche. How can I promote my books? How can I get myself out there? So, when I discovered you on Wattpad, I was like, oh my God. I was like, that you were actually one of the inspirations that I had to, to write my books on Wattpad. You and a few others. You were like one of the top authors on there. That's no doubt.
Oh my gosh. That's so sweet to hear.
Yeah, I was like, one day I had a feeling that she was going to get published because I'm like, her books are more worthy than being just on Wattpad. That was another plus. And then when I noticed that you got published and, I was like, oh my God, I have to follow her. I have to add her on Facebook because I want to get her books besides Wattpad because she deserves this. So when I'm actually signed to Major Key / Royalty. I was like, oh my gosh, because at first I realized you got published, of course, but I didn't pay attention to the publishing company. And then I was like, oh my God. I was like so nervous to, contact you in the first place. I don't know why, because I still felt like the fan I was on Wattpad. But I was like, you know what? I want to interview her because I want to talk about all of that. So this is so cool right now. I'm like so
oh my gosh,
excited.
That is so nice to hear. Like, thank you so much. It means a lot hearing you say that.
You're so welcome.
It means a lot.
And I just wanted to know, like, how did you feel, when you got published and everything? Did your readers on Wattpad, were they sad that you weren't, like, really going to be writing on Wattpad like you would be anymore? Like, how did they feel? Like, did they contact you, post messages on the message board and all that extra stuff?
Yeah, so when I first dropped, because a lot of my old books on Wattpad, what I got them edited and I revamped some of them and I got them published. So what I would do was I would change the title from the old book to the new one and change the cover and like put in the title that it was like now published, and I got like a lot of like, not a vast amount, but like quite a lot of comments saying, oh my gosh, why isn't this free? Oh, I want to read the full version, because I would put like a sample, so only like 5 chapters would go up.
Yep.
And some people would be like so hurt that the book was gone and they couldn't read it anymore. But at the same time, I had been on Wattpad for like a good solid 2 years, so I felt like it was just time for me to transition into something new. And yeah, people were hurt and like disheartened by the fact that I was basically moving on to something new, something that would actually require them to spend money on me and invest in my work. But I feel like if you're an actual true fan, you would support me regardless if my books were free or if they were available to purchase, because it shows that you actually care about how much effort I put into my books and the time it takes. And
yeah, and that's exactly what happened to me. I was so like nervous because I wanted my Wattpad fans to grow with me, because like you said, like it felt like a family almost, because that's where we started at. And I was like, I don't want them to fall off from me because they're, like you said, investing money in my books, because half of them are younger and they don't have the ability to just go and buy books. They have to go ask their parents or whatever. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for this, because I got contacts and everything from publishers too. But I was like, I'm not ready yet. I want to be solid with my books, and I want to grow my fan base more. So exactly what you said, you edited the books, you revamped the titles. They were like really hurt over that too, because they was like, why would you change the names in your books? We loved them. Now we have to, fall in love with them another way. So I know exactly what you feel from that point. Went through the same thing. I was like, oh, I really want them to, be there, but half of them are not, unfortunately. So I wanted to ask you about a venture that you went into, your lashes.
Oh, I'm so happy you brought that up. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh yeah, so basically, do you want to know like why I started it, or?
Yes, I want to know like what made you start it. Was it always something you wanted to do, or was it like something spontaneous? You was like, I'm gonna do this. Like, what made you do it?
So basically, I've always really wanted, something that was like something that I created out of my own, like from my own idea, but something in terms of like a business or brand. And I had an idea just sitting in my brain for a minute, but I didn't really think too much about it. And then last year, late last year, September times, I started wearing mink lashes more. And all the time, all you would see coming through the post would be mink lashes, just a bunch of mink lashes. And I was just thinking, wouldn't it be so cool if I had my own line that was affordable and I could be proud of, something I would know that, oh my gosh, I actually thought this out and I made it a reality. So I got on Google, started looking around for vendors, and here we are. I have my own lash line.
That, when I seen it, I was like, only if I wore lashes, I would definitely order some, take a picture, and I got her lashes and everything. But they look so high quality and they look so beautiful and everything. You're welcome. And then the photos you had done, I was like, you could tell she really put, her effort into branding something other than her books and everything. So I was like, what else is she going to come out with? I'm very interested now. I'm like, she came out with lashes. What's next?
Well, I'm working on something new, so we just have to wait and see. But I'll keep that one the secret for now.
True. So with your books now, what's next for you? Are you working on any new series? Any just new standalones?
Yes, so I'm working on a new series, which my readers are probably going to hate because they want me. They keep on I keep getting messages and comments about two particular characters that everybody wants me to bring back in a spin-off or a standalone or just continue the series because they don't want to let the main male character go. But I have a new series and it has my heart and I'm obsessed with the characters already. So I'm just ready to go in that direction. But I'm not completely ignoring their suggestions. I just want to get this new series out. And I just want to keep on building up my catalogue because that's what's important to me. And yeah.
So another question I have you been to any book events yet or anything like that? Like meeting groups?
No. I haven't been to any because obviously I'm no one see my face because I write under a pen name. So I don't know, I feel like I will go to a book event one day when I'm ready. And I will show my face. That's one thing that I repeatedly said over my career. You guys will definitely see my face, I promise. But right now I'm just not ready. I'm just more focused on it being about the books.
And not who you,
Yeah, not who I am. Do you see what I mean? But yeah.
No, I totally understand because when I started writing, I was like, I'm not going to put my picture up. I don't want anybody to know who I am yet because in myself, I was trying to figure out my pen name and what I'm going to go by. So, I had, first my pen name was one name, and then a few months later, I changed it to something else. And then, I kept that for a minute, and I was like, no, that's not, branding, who I am as an author. And then that's when I came up with Shy Soul, because I
really like that, by the way, Shy Soul.
Thank you, because it's a part of my real name, and then the soul that I have. I'm a very shy person, so I was like, I'm just going to combine that. And that's what I came up with.
I see.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I came up with. And it just branded me. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let everybody know who I am because I'm not going to just I already defined myself with my book. So I'll just post a picture. And it was like, oh my God. I was like, I didn't post my picture for everybody to be like, oh, you're this, you're that. I just posted it because I felt like it was time,
Yeah.
And now I regret it because I was like, dang it, I wish I could just be anonymous and just kept it that way. And I was like, oh, it's too late now. So I really like that you have yourself to yourself. You're not, you have your name and then that's it. You're giving the readers what you want to give them. And I love that.
Yeah. I was always worried about that, especially when I was first signing with royalty. I thought, oh my gosh, no, they're going to want me to show my face. They're going to want me to go to book events and they're not going to want to read my books if they can't see my face. But honestly, the support has been so overwhelmingly amazing. Everyone's totally, everyone understands why, or I think everyone understands why I don't want to show my face yet, and that I will show my face to them when I'm ready. And yeah.
Yeah, and you should keep it.
That a lot.
You're welcome. You should definitely keep that the way you want to for as long as you want to, because that's giving you that extra oomph to being the author that you are. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what my publisher said. She was like, Jen, you're literally one of the only ones. I think who else doesn't show their face? I think Quan Mills doesn't show his face.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something unique, something different. So I kind of just, letting it stick with me for a while longer.
Okay, so I wanted to know, how do you feel about the urban writing industry? What's your opinion? Yeah.
To be honest, I feel like when I first was published, I wasn't really like in the community that much, because I started just writing contemporary, like, because on Wattpad all my books were just romance, contemporary. So when I was first published, all I was publishing was romance contemporary. So I didn't really like get the whole like drama and the whole cliques and stuff. I didn't really see that side until I hit number 1 with my book Bad for My Fuck in 2015. So when I hit number 1, that's when I started seeing a different side. I was like, oh, okay, this is different. How I feel about it, I honestly don't get involved in any of the drama. Like, that's the number one thing I think everyone can say about Miss Jen. I don't get involved in the drama in urban fiction, like, unless it's directed at me. But then again, if you're coming for anyone from Royalty or Major Key or Urban Chapters, if you're coming from anyone from those publications, I would definitely get involved, like, no doubt about it. But I feel like, at times it's a bit shady and
condescending, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I try and just keep it about the books, because that's what I'm here for.
Right.
So, yeah. That's really all I can say, I think.
Yeah, same with me. I don't want to get in any tiffs or anything over books. Like, what is the point to having beef with authors, anything like that? That's exactly why I created my podcast, because I want to give authors their voice to talk about anything they want to talk about. Just don't bring the negativity. It's no reason to be a shady author or anything like that, because we're just writing books and doing stuff that we love. Why can't why can't we just keep it, keep it going and just keep it smooth, and that's it. But then you have the ones who they like to argue because of titles, or because you used the same picture for your book cover that I used maybe a few months ago, or your character name is the same as mine. I mean, it just happens. It may be a coincidence, or it may not be, but you can't stop that from happening. But other than that, there's no reason to bring other negativity into being an author and then trying to start beef.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I keep to myself as much as I can, because that's exactly why I really don't post as much on Facebook or anything like that, except for when I'm sharing people's books and promoting my work and everything like that, or making posts to my fans and all that. Because there's just no reason for that tension, and then we get that negativity from the other writers, like, oh, urban is just just urban, and I don't like to be put in just a box, So what I mean by that is, will you be doing any other genres, or you're just sticking to romance and all the extras you put in your book?
I feel like I'm open into trying, like, maybe horror. I don't know, but I feel like it's something that I have to work on by myself before, like, showing it to my readers. But I'm definitely open. I think right now, urban fiction definitely has my heart, undeniably. But in the future, I'm definitely going to change into something else.
What I was like, the way you write is so, like, different. You have that different writing style, and for some odd reason, I feel like you're gonna make, like what you said, like a horror or like a thriller. I have that feeling like you're gonna just pop up and come out with a thriller or a suspense. And, like, it's going to just drop a bomb and everybody's going to be like, oh my God, is it going to be a part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? And, yeah, that's what I feel like you're going to come out with next. I don't know why, but it just feels like that. It really does.
I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see. But that, like, thriller, definitely. Because I actually love thrillers, like, films.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm definitely open to writing that.
What was I going to ask? So, let's go back into your best-selling series.
Okay.
Who is your favorite character in that book? The whole series, actually.
Oh, this is hard. Okay, give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay, the thing is, I want to say my main male character, Kassan.
Mm-hmm.
But, even though everyone hated her, I feel like everyone hated her, but I really, really liked her in the beginning of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And even though she made some dumb decisions, I actually really liked Sabrina. And even though she, so basically her ex-boyfriend abused her,
mm-hmm.
and she tried to, like, go on some savior mission to, like, save him and get him some help. I really empathized with her in that situation, because when you, like, love someone for so long and they hurt you,
yep,
the love doesn't necessarily stop. And that's what happened with her. She still had, like, a lot of love for him, even though he beat her up. And she wanted the best for him. But then she realized at the last minute that, oh, this guy actually isn't good for me. Like, I actually need to smarten up and realize that he seriously hurt me. Like, I feel like the love blinded her completely to his actions and the way he treated her. But I really did like Sabrina. And in the beginning, she was hilarious because she was a bit of a promiscuous girl, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that at the beginning of the book, she was talking with her sisters about how she was talking about one of the other male characters, Kadeem, how he had spent, like, a few days on her couch, and her sisters were like, what? Why are you just letting him stay on your couch? And she was like, oh, because 1 minute he was just like, I'd love to see how you taste today, and they would just have sex again. And it was just so funny to me how she just didn't care, like, and she just owned her sexuality. And that's one thing I absolutely am so mandatory about when it comes to my female characters: owning your sexuality and owning your body, and understanding that you can love sex as much as you like. My hashtag, the freak in the books, is a prime example of that. Like,
mm-hmm.
women, sex is for you too. It's not just for men. So, yeah. Sabrina, I hope that answered your question, because I started waffling a bit.
And what was the hardest part with writing the series? Or did you have one?
I think the hardest part was... I know what the hardest part was. The hardest part was trying to determine if Kassan, my main male character, and Solana, my main female character, were to stay together. Because at one point I was like, no, I actually don't think I want them together.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kassan broke up with her at the end of book 1 because of his daughter. And I was just like, he really hurt her. Like, he really broke her down. He treated her so badly, I feel, with that breakup. So I wasn't really sure if I could ever get them to reconcile.
Uh-huh.
But it worked out, so... But that was definitely a challenge for me.
And for you, for writing this series, did you like write the whole full book, or did you like write the beginning? or did you write the ending first? Like, for you, how did you, like, start off writing this series?
Oh, no, when it comes to all my book series, I write chronologically.
Mm-hmm.
So from start to finish, I can't write in the middle, or I can't write the end because it throws me off. Usually I know how, like, books are going to end. So by the time I get to the middle of book one, I already know how book one is going to end, and I already know how book two is going to end. But I can never just, like, pick and choose different bits to, like, write about. I have to write it from start to finish, or else it'll throw me off completely.
And for this specific story, you know, did you, like, one day you was like, oh, I'm going to write this story? Or, like, how did you come up with the concept of this series?
So, when it came to this series, it really was, a lot of inspiration was from music.
Mm-hmm.
And an inspiration came from an actual friend who had a child with someone and was struggling to figure out if they wanted to, like, continue, because the love wasn't really there anymore, but it was there in the sense of, like, a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
But the friend was trying to figure out if she should stay with the person she conceived with or just continue to co-parent.
Well, that is good inspiration to start off a story, because a lot of your readers and, like, new readers who pick up your book, some can relate to it, and it's realistic. So, of course, I see why the book did so well, because you have so much within the story. So it's not just like they're getting, like, one half of the situation, they're getting it in a whole. And I really love the way you wrote it, basically. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. So how did you come up with the title?
Oh, well, the title, you can thank my lovely, amazing publisher, Portia. Because when I tell you, me and Portia, we go back and forth about titles. I'll tell her one, she'll be like, no, you need to come up with something stronger. And I'm like, Portia, please, like, I don't know. But this particular one, she was sitting on for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave it to me, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, yup, this is it right here. This is my title. And so we got the cover made, and I saw the cover, and I was just in love. And so, yeah, I got to thank Portia for the title.
Yeah, the title matches the cover, like, so well. When I seen it, I was like, ooh, this is going to be a hot one. So, for you, is writing your synopsis, is that hard for you? Or no? I've been hearing that a lot with authors saying
Yeah,
that.
like, for me, it depends on my mood. But I never struggle to the point where I need to go and, like, I don't struggle to the point where I need to, like, constantly keep coming back to it. Because how I do it is, I'll get all my characters, I'll list them down, and then I'll start picking off, like, particular things about them that I want the readers to know right off the bat. So, once I do that, I pick the features and I start putting them into paragraphs. And then I write out the synopsis, and I always tend to go, like, I'm going to bring Portia again into this, but once I've finished the synopsis, I always tend to go into Portia for advice. And let me tell you a little secret. The purest love, that synopsis, I got in one draft, and Portia absolutely loved it. She didn't even tell me to revise it or do another one or add a paragraph there or shorten it. As soon as I wrote that synopsis and I sent it to her, she was like, it's perfect. Don't even bother changing it. It's fantastic. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was just so happy, because usually she's hard on synopsises. Very hard. So
yeah,
that was a win.
Especially with my publisher, I was, like, so nervous, because, you know, I'm the type of person, I write my synopsis before I even write my book, because I don't.
Oh yeah, that's me too.
Yeah, because I just don't want to be stuck. I write the whole book, and then all of a sudden I'm just stuck on the synopsis of my story, and I'd be like, oh my god, I'm just stretching this on like too long, and I really want to like send my book off and everything. So I do that first, and then that's when I start to plan out the whole book. Like I have so many notebooks, and my notes be all over the place. Like if another author or somebody who didn't write picked up my notebook, they'd have been like, "What is this?" I'd be like, "You won't understand it." Like, because it's just everywhere. Like, I could just pinpoint what I want, and then that's the chapter. If somebody else was just to read over that, they'd be like, this makes no sense. I know, because that's the way I plan out my book. If I don't do that, I feel like I'm lost in my story. I'm the type of person that, like, write on as I go, but I still love to have, like, my notes, like, just in case. You know?
Yeah.
I will plan out a full book in my notes, and then sometimes I won't even follow the way I written my notes sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it changes. Like, the characters just speak too much, and then the story just changes. It's like that the same for you?
Yes, that is actually the same for me. So, what I tend to do is I outline my books, and the outline is never really followed, because my characters have a mind of their bloody own, so they don't listen to me. So, what I tend to do is, I know, so the outline is more like a guide for me, like, oh yeah, it could go this way, but be expected for like twists and turns. And so I tend to do a lot of, I don't know how you write, but I tend to type and also actually use like physical pen and paper to get down stuff, especially if I'm stuck. Like if I have a notepad and a pen and I'm experiencing writer's block, as soon as I start writing on a pen and paper, it just disappears for me. Everything just comes rushing out.
I am the exact same. I will have my laptop open, I'll be typing, and I'll just go straight to my notebook, write down something, go back to writing on the laptop. Like recently, I had the worst writer block, and I haven't had writer's block in years. Like I could just write a story, and just because I'm a very like a thinkative person, like I have a very overactive imagination. So when I'm writing my stories, it's just like so explosive, and then I can get like a chapter, like one chapter might be like 5K, almost 10K, and I get that done like within an hour. I'd be like on fire, and then take a break, write in my notebook. That's
amazing. Like
that's how
10K an hour.
Yeah, that's how I was on Wattpad.
You need to come write for me, because 10K an hour. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm going to get to that now. This was the crazy part. I have to write a short story that we're working on with Major Key and everything, right? Okay.
Right.
8K, that's easy. That's what I was thinking. I had the worst writer's block. Like, I was literally drafting my short story over and over again for like a full month and a half. So I was like, you know what? I can't keep doing this. I had to call my publisher and was like, I have the worst writer's block. I think I'm gonna need more time to write this little short story. She said, so explain it to me. I pulled out my notebook, explained it out in detail, like the whole short story. She was like, all this is good. She was hauling ooh and ah, and she was like, this is so good, but I'm going to tell you why you have writer's block. She said I was writing within a novel because I wanted to soon turn my short story into a novel. She said, you're writing within a novel. You're not writing within your short story. So as soon as she told me that, and she just told me to, just write about the drama, because she knows I'm a very detailed person. So she said, just write about the drama. And when she said that, I got like 5K done within that same day almost. Edited a little bit because I didn't want it to be like too long within like one chapter. And I was like, okay, I can get this done now. So I just hope I don't get writer's block again. I know it's going to happen again because of different storylines that I'm going to, be working on. But that was the absolute worst. I was like, I really don't want that to happen again. and it was just a short story. If that would have been like a whole novel I was working on,
yeah.
I would have been so in distress. I would have been locked in my room. Oh my God.
I was gonna say, do you work on more than one book at a time?
I used to. I had to stop that. I used to.
Yeah, I can't do that. Like, at all. Because what will end up happening is that I'll show one book way too much love and not give the other book the attention it requires.
Yep. I had to literally stop doing that because I would be writing one series and then working on another, like one story, just a standalone, and then working on another series, get half of that done, then I'm on the other one. And it was like, you're just pulling out stories left and right. Like, how are you not getting your storylines mixed up? Because I have that overactive imagination where, like, my characters are just all at me at once when I'm writing. And it's like, it's fun for me because writing is my escape, you know, to just tell so many different stories and create so many different people, if they're good, bad, whatever may come. To me, in my opinion, I love writing bad characters. I don't know why, they're just like more fun that way. You know, you could do so much with like an evil character.
I totally agree with that. Like, villains are the best for me.
Yeah, and then like what I did, I hope this is like the same for you. What I did with my book that got published weeks ago, with my main character, I made her good and bad. You know, she went through her trial of being like the sweet angel and everything. Then, like, you know, her wings got knocked off because of something tragic that happened. And then, you know, she went through her bad phase, you know, and it had to be somebody to pull her out of that. So, like, she was sweet and sour, and I just loved writing her so much. Is that for you? Like, is that the same for you?
In a way, I wouldn't say, I don't know if this is actually bad, but in, was it the last book or the second book? See, now I'm thinking about a new series, so I cannot remember. Wait, so in the second book? I think it was the third book. In the third book, the main female character tried to be like a savage and like... No, it was the second book. In the second book, my main female character tried to be a savage and she tried to like brush Kassan away and not really like show him any attention. Well, she did show him attention, but when he tried to get back together with her, like officially in a relationship, she was like, no. She was just really dismissive, and yeah, don't know if that's completely bad, but she did go down a route of being like nonchalant, but I don't know if that's really the same as yours.
Yeah, it kind of is, because Lotus, that's her name, she was same like that.
What's her name?
Yeah, I did like the thing with like, she's a flower, and you know how flowers, they, you know, they wilt, and you know, you don't really like it anymore. That was like her persona. You know, she was so, yeah, she was so sweet, you know, and then like she just had that, the person deep inside of her, like she was battling with herself almost. So like what you said, you know, she turned into like a savage, and you know, she was being defiant and, you know, trying to just be the person she wasn't almost. That's how Lotus is being, you know, and then like in the second book, when I finish it and everything, I'm going to play more on that, and you know, it's going to become so bad within herself. It's just going to be total chaos at this point because she's losing herself, you know. That's how I want to create my characters. You know, I want my readers and authors, whoever read it, I want them to like visualize like what I'm portraying the character to be. You know, I just don't want it to be like a bland character. I would do a bland character and they get killed off. Yeah. I would just make it a bland character just for them to get killed off, and then that be it. Honestly.
I feel you 100%. Like, I hate characters that are not dimensional, like, that I don't know well enough. Where's the description? Where's the emotion? Like, that really, really ticks me off.
Exactly. Okay, so, like, when you do, like, a very dynamic character, do you give them, like, you know, their breakthrough, that, like, that powerful speech in the book to have, like, your readers like, oh my God, like, I was waiting on her to do that? Like, do you write your character like that sometimes or all the time?
I think I do that all the time, but I don't actually do it intentionally. Like, it's not something that I go into the book thinking, yep, my character is definitely going to have that breakout, powerful speech. It just happens. Like, I feel like it's just something that's natural. It makes sense for my characters, especially Kassan. When he was apologizing to Solana for all that he did, when he broke up with her, when he treated her like shit, there was a moment where he had like a proper heart-to-heart. And again, I feel like that's something that every man should really do. Like, it should just be natural for you to want to express yourself and just be wholeheartedly genuine.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
That's the same with me. With the male character I made him, you know, he had that dimension to him too. Like, he went through something terrible to make him change, but he still didn't understand his wife. You know, they've been together for so long. He treated her fairly, but he didn't treat her like the wife, the queen she was supposed to be to him. You know, she was just basically just his wife. You know, just that's it to him. And she expressed her love for him so much, but he never really gave the love back until she was gone. You know, that's what I wanted. That reaction you just had is the reaction I would love for my readers to have, because he lost something so precious to him that he earned. You know, he earned her love and her trust and everything, and then for just him to just go up and then to a flat line and lose her, it was crazy. It kind of had me like emotional in a sense when I was writing it, because I was like, I don't know where all this heartbreak is coming from with me writing this story, but I loved it. You know, I just love putting so much drama and emotion into the books.
Yeah, I think that's so important. So important. Like, I hate reading books that I just don't even. I read the first. If you cannot give me some sort of vivid emotion, vivid descriptions from the first couple pages, in fact, I'm not reading it.
Yeah, it has to have a lot of attention grabbing in that first chapter. If it doesn't, it's just, I feel bad, you know, because the book might be actually good, but that first chapter didn't grab me.
Not at all. Exactly.
Are you the type of reader who you judge a book by its cover? I know I am.
When you say a cover, I feel like it. Personally, I think the urban fiction covers are quite sexy. Like, I like the bright colours. I like the use of the pictures of like the females and the men. Some of them are a bit off. Like, yeah, we've all seen those covers that are not up to a good standard. But I feel like if I've seen your cover, and even if it's not the best cover ever, but it makes me want to read the synopsis, and I read the synopsis, and I'm intrigued by the synopsis, then 9 times out of 10, I'm going to open the book and read it.
Yeah,
I guess in a sense, I do judge a book by its cover, but even if a cover is like not the best, I still give it a second chance by going to the synopsis, and if the synopsis is better, then I will definitely read the book.
Right, like with me, I read this book, you know, when I seen the cover, I was like, okay, it's basic, but I like it. You know, and it made me flip over to the synopsis. And when I read the synopsis, I was like, wow, I think it's going to be a powerful book. So it actually made me open up the book in the store. I ended up buying it, so that's a plus. So when I read the first page, I was like, oh, I'm buying this. And, and then weeks later after me reading it, it was like repetitive. It kept saying like the same thing from chapter 1, from chapter 2, and I was like, the book is so good and I want to keep reading it, but it was like too repetitive. Like it kept saying it over and just, I was over it at that point and didn't even finish the book. I was like, the book had me grabbed, and then with the repetitiveness, it just made me just like, I don't even want to read it anymore. I was tripped. That's how I felt. I was like, oh God, I can't do it. So have you, what I want to ask, and this will be like the last question before, I give you your shout out and everything. You want to shout out anybody and tell everybody where your books are. What I want to ask is, have you gotten any fan pics with your paperbacks yet?
Have I got any what?
Have you got any fan pictures with your fans holding your books, your paperbacks?
Oh, no. Like, do you mean like their faces in the picture?
Like them holding the book or anything like that. That's what I mean.
Well, I haven't got any with them holding the book so I can see their faces, but I've got a few with like people taking a picture of the paperback on their table or on their desk after receiving it in the mail, or like, because I did a competition in my readers group like a few weeks back, and I picked a girl that gave me the best answer for one of the questions I asked, and I signed the book and sent it to her, and she took a picture of it, so that was nice to see.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, how did you feel? Like, when you first saw a picture of, I was going to say, like, it could be a picture, like, with them not in their face, like, your book. How did you feel to, like, see them have your book, period, the paperback? Like, how did you feel?
It feels surreal. Like, it makes me really, like, realize that I actually have readers who actually like my books, read my books, and enjoy my books. And it just feels wonderful.
Yeah, same for me. When I first saw somebody with my book, I didn't see their face, anything. I just saw the book on their computer, sitting on their computer desk. I was like, almost passed out. I was like, oh my goodness. I was so like in shock, and just as an author to see that, it just gives you that good feeling. So that's why I asked you that question.
Yeah, it's actually amazing.
Okay, so now it's time for you to give your shout outs and tell everybody who's listening where to get your books.
So, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I almost forgot where you get my books from. So, you get my books from Amazon. All my ebooks are on there. All my paperbacks are on there. I think the best place to really, really like find all my links, all my socials, is my website, Jenesequa.com or .co.uk, but .com's fine. That would like give you straight access to my Facebook page, my Instagram, even though I don't really post on my Instagram, but one day, and my Twitter, and what else? All my books are on there, and all my favorite page is the Freaks page, which you can see all the visuals of my characters on. That's the best page on the site for me. And my readers group as well. My readers group is so important. Like, I tell all my readers, like, if you want to know everything, when the next book is dropping or see a sneak peek, that's the place to go. And on my website, you can also subscribe to my mailing list. And yeah, that's basically it.
You heard it from Miss Jenesequa. Please get all her books on Amazon. Go follow her on all her social media. And I love talking to you so much. This was so fun.
It really was. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I love all of you. She loves all of you. And if they say that you are not black, and who are them to question who you are? I love you guys. Bye.